Have you ever been in the middle of a perfectly good Nightrein run when suddenly that guy decides he's 𝐓𝐴𝐼𝐻 reborn? You're dodging, rolling, chipping away at a boss's health, and suddenly your teammate steps forward, shoulders back, katana ready, full parry stance, and gets obliterated. Yeah, that's the Sekiro wannabe, the fraud. The one who thinks they're going to parry the Royal Revenant's 10-hit combo like they're starring in FromSoft's trailer. And they're not. Alright, look, if you've been diving into Nightrein lately, chances are you've already met one of these players. Maybe it was you. Either way, today we're calling out the 5 worst types of players. I'm talking about the quitters, the loot goblins, the Sekiro cosplayers, the I don't need teammate squad, and of course, the guy who hoards everything like it's Skyrim. So grab your relics, pray your healer isn't a fraud, and let's drag these players into the light and do a purge. So picture this, you finally queue into a run, you, your buddy, and this random third dude. He seems cool at first, following all the pings, clearing out camps, and then, without warning, for some stupid ass reason, 2 of you head to the basement of the castle to fight the Red Wolf or whatever's down there, and he pops a bell-bearing hunter in the open map. All of a sudden you see his health bar disappear like a nuke went off in his face, and no one is even remotely close enough to revive him. Then he quits, just poof. Now it's just you and your friend. I mean, on one hand, the game auto lowers health and resistances for the remaining enemies, so it's not that bad. But then you remember that you gave that bastard a ritual sword talisman, and you are running an 𝐼𝐻, and he didn't drop it back for you. Also, you get to do a 3-player boss fight with 2 players because Chad rage quit, and he didn't want to learn what iframes were. Listen, don't be this guy. You're not impressing anyone by quitting mid-run, except maybe your ISP for using less bandwidth. If you die early, treat it like a learning moment. Learn how to best support the team you are in. Mark items that others can use. Be a bro. Or at least don't throw a tantrum like the game owes you a win. Like, no shit, John, the game's hard. It says FromSoft on the box, not Ubisoft. And if you end up with a quitter on your team, just do it and win anyway. Nothing makes them angrier than seeing you beat a boss without them. So we've gone over rage quitters, but imagine this, you're mid-fight, barely surviving, and suddenly your teammate just disappears, leaving you wondering where the hell they are. Just gone. Why? Ah, that's right, he saw a shiny drop across the map and decided now was the perfect time to go looting like it's freaking Diablo 2. Never mind it that you're tanking an army of banished knights and an elder lion by yourself, he's busy chasing his dopamine hit. You know this guy. You load into a run, everyone's synced up and ready to fight, then mid-fight, boom! One enemy drops something purple, could be a crafting material, a weapon, or a talisman, and this dick is no longer helping out. Doesn't matter that your guardian is tanking 3 mobs, or your revenant is hanging on by a thread. The loot goblin, already halfway across the map, ignoring the screams of his allies because this little shiny object might be something worth keeping. Even better, it doesn't even work for their build. He's out here playing 𝐼𝐻 and he just snatched up a gravel seal with guard increased pose. Like, what the fuck, man? And yes, maybe he'll drop it later if he takes the time to read what it does. But let's be honest, this is the same guy who sees you about to pick up an item and does a drive-by to get it just so you can. So don't be a loot goblin. Learn how to read your build, the drops, and more importantly, the damn room. That item will still be there after we kill the boss, assuming you don't get us all killed while you're trying to grab it mid-fight, like it's some gold drops in a Borderlands game. Coordinate with your squad, share the drops that matter, and don't risk a full night run just to collect something you can't even use. So you know how it goes by now. We load into a run and I already know that we're doomed. There's an executor in all his glory. He's standing at the front, switching stances like he's trying to decide whether or not he wants to do his whole parry shtick. And as soon as the fights start, he walks, not runs, but walks, up to the bell-bearing hunter and just stands there, sword raised like he's waiting for a duel, probably thinking something cringe like, "Omae wa mou shindeu." And then he tries to parry, whiffs it, and instantly gets slapped across the arena, downed in a single hit. And now me and the Wilder have to somehow figure out how to two-man against the blood-soaked blender of an Adonis of a man. And I swear, the moment we revive him, he goes right back to center stage like nothing happened, and he thinks he's auditioning for a Sekiro remake. Even if he was, he'd be the training guy in the starting area, not Wolf. Look, we get it. Parrying feels amazing. Landing that perfect frame window and punishing with an execution, it's just mwah, chef's kiss. But you're consistently getting hit under pressure, and after the boss pulls out an extra phase, you still think you're a parrying god. But let's face it, you're basically just a liability. Here's the rule. If you can't parry the trash mobs with about a 90% success rate, you don't get to try it on a boss. Use your block, use your dodge, hell, spam the roll like a duchess in a lightning storm. But stop cosplay speedrunning Sekiro, while the rest of us are out here trying to beat a boss. Sadly enough, the Sekiro stands kind of fall into this next category too. This guy is the #1 reason that your relic run ends in disappointment. I had a run with a Revenant and an Executor. Me and the Revenant were coordinating, solid pacing, good synergy. Both pinged a nearby church for an extra Kool-Aid, and an easy place to pick up some boluses. But the Executor? This ass hasn't pinged where he's going. He's nowhere around. He just vanished. Next thing we know, we get a red warning flash and a nice small heads up saying your ally is near death. I mean, this dude lasted maybe 10 seconds on his own. Maybe he got hit by a flying pot. Maybe he just got his ass stomped by a Crucible Knight. But he dies, drops his runes, and now he's under level, stranded, and guess what? He becomes the first type of player we talked about and rage quits when we don't run all the way across the map to revive him under tactical nuke launches from the castle towers due to said trolls. Look, you don't get relics mid-run, you don't solo push for pickups. You're playing for the end game, and that means staying alive, leveling smart, and coordinating. When you go off script and die, you lose a level, you drop runes, and unless your teammates want to run a marathon to hit your corpse mid-boss fight, you're dead weight. Don't be that guy. Use your pings. Read the team's pathing. If you're confident, great, lead with communication. Because if you're taking castles while we're clearing a church, you're not just hurting your run, you're sabotaging ours too. Just saying, it's a team-based game, be part of the team. So let's take a bit of a step back. If the loot goblin is bad, the hoarder is worse. At least the goblin might drop the thing you need eventually. Probably. By accident. I had a run with a recluse, a guardian, and me on raider. We were doing alright, clearing zones, synced on pings, tight synergy. Then we get this rare colossal weapon. Perfect for my build, high strength scaling, deals the damage we need for the final boss. It works with my charged R2 swings. The second it drops, I watch the recluse walk over, grab it, and say nothing. Just keeps moving. Alright, maybe he didn't read it. Maybe it was just muscle memory. Cool. But later on, I checked his loadout and he's running great shields and strength heavy weapons. He's literally not even using the ashes. I try to emote to get his attention, but it doesn't work. And due to no damn in-game chat, I get no response from them. We get to the final boss, I'm struggling to do damage, and this dude is holding my entire build hostage while standing in the back casting poison mist, like he's trying to be the next goddamn Jackson Pollock or some shit. And no, he never dropped it. It was like they were going out of their way to make sure I didn't get my weapons. I mean, they had to filter through their items at least once when we picked up other weapons, and yet they still fucking have it. You know what's worse than dying on Nightrein? Dying knowing your teammate had the thing that could have saved the run, or given you a better chance to survive, and just didn't want to share it. Here's the thing, no one's asking you to give up your core items, but if you're holding on to stuff that doesn't fit your build, especially stuff that your teammate clearly needs, you're being an inefficient, selfish ass. This isn't Diablo, there's no economy, no resale value, and no flex points for holding a bunch of gear that you'll never use. The good squad, they trade and adapt. They build each other. The hoarders, they get remembered, but not in a good way. They're the reason runs fall apart, trust breaks down, and the guardian starts screaming in all caps. Don't be the hoarder. Be my homie. Yippee! And there you have it. The 5 worst types of Nightrein players. If you saw yourself as any of these, hey, no shame. We've all been a loot goblin once. Maybe even tried to be the solo player on a bad day. The point is, know your flaws and own your roles. And don't ruin the run for everybody else. Nightrein is hard enough without your teammates sprinting into castle solo, or holding items like they're smog. So whether you're grinding relics, clearing castles, or just trying to get your revenge on that goddamn bell-bearing hunter, play smart, play together, and stop dying with that damn item I need in your inventory. If you've ever seen one of these players, drop a like, sub if you're new, and tell us in the comments, what's the worst kind of Nightrein teammate you've ever had? We might even roast them in the next video. And remember guys, be good to each other. See you in the next video. Peace.